What's up, everyone? In case you're wondering, no, I haven't figured out the coolant issue. Well, I might have figured out the coolant issue. As it seems to be, I plumbed my expansion tank incorrectly. Didn't know no better. This is one of those times where I guess you say you live and you learn. I've tried to bleed this thing so many times. I've had, oh goddamn, if you're friends with me on Facebook or Instagram, I had a geyser coming out of the expansion tank. A lot of people told me 220s, mid 220s temp is fine. That ain't working out for me. I tore it all apart. I'm gonna change the way the expansion tank is plumbed. I ran the upper hose into here and then out through the bottom to the radiator, and that is incorrect. The correct way is to run the upper hose straight to the radiator and out the bottom, teed into the bigger of the heater hoses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hack this fitting off. I'm going to hack this fitting off. I'm just going to weld aluminum plate over it for now. Dash 12 weld bung from Monkey Fab. I'm just going to weld into the bottom. I got some fittings. We're gonna tee this in. I'm gonna go off because remember all my heater core hoses are AN fittings. So I picked this up and we're gonna tee it in, and we're gonna make it the right way. I'm waiting on a couple fittings so I can move my steam port from the top of the water pump over to the expansion tank, and hopefully that is all good. Hopefully that works. You know, I'm praying. I got it torn apart. You see my upper hose here. What I'm going to do for now is I ordered a union fitting to go from this to the hose to the back of the car. Later, much later, I'll probably buy a new hose and rerun it so I don't have that issue. But you know, it's all apart right now. This was not what I wanted to be doing, but my mess up. I should have done more research. I also have to drill tap for a drain. I didn't have a freaking drain. I just had a little plug in there for the overflow. So I really didn't have a way to drain it except for taking that out. So I'm gonna get this all hacked up and start welding fittings on it. You know, it's funny when we're upstairs. I think she likes my wife more. When we're upstairs, she don't want to be. I mean, she'll lay on the same couch as me, but she doesn't have this right here. And if my wife were to be home right now, she'd be probably banging at the door. Huh? Good girl. All right, see ya.
I ain't never gonna stop too driven. I ain't never getting lost, got vision. I'ma make this shit hot, ignition. Yeah, yo, give me facts, not fiction. Then you know I fucking listen, cause I'm on a fucking mission. Man, you got to be driven, cause this world is unforgiving. You're the only one that's winning, or the only one that's quitting. So get up and stay committed.
Alright guys, it's been a couple days now since everything's gone on with the car. I bought a new expansion tank. For whatever the reason, I was trying to re-weld my old one, and it just wouldn't weld. I don't know if it was a mix between Chinese metal and coolant being in it, but I spent like 2 hours on it. I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna buy a new one. I bought a Moroso one this time. Much nicer. I got the correct, I think this was 1/2 inch to dash 12 fitting that's gonna tee in, and this was like a 3/8. But what I did was I bought a Vibrant Performance dash 4 weld on fitting. And what was perfect about it is it's got a little embossment on the back, and it fit perfectly in there. I literally gave it a little tap of a rubber mallet and it sat flush. So instead of buying another fitting, to 3/8 to 1/4 inch, and then 3/8 to -4, and then have a -4 fit on there. It would have just looked stupid. So I'm gonna weld this -4 fitting. Oh, this -4 fitting in here, and then just put my line for my steam port right into there.
I'ma go out, it's my fucking way. At least I'll go out with some pride to my name. With the fight not a play, that's my fucking way, home. Y'all can sit back and think you heard the best of me. I can guarantee that you haven't seen the rest of me.
I got my fitting welded on there. I've been having an issue that, like I said, I was having a problem welding this. This weld did fine halfway around, and then it got like, I don't know, it started to fuck up. I don't know what happened there. I'm starting to think it's the way I'm holding the torch and its gas coverage, but that's something I need to play with. I'm pretty sure there's no leaks, but gotta check to be sure, so I'm gonna use some of this sticky ass HVAC metal tape that I use to do the back purging with, because I have a feeling this will be strong enough to hold the water in. Yeah. So that goddamn idea didn't work out well with the tape. So we're just gonna finger it. I thought I had a leak in it, and it was just coming out from the tape. I gotta do a better job at drying this first. Okay, so this is all done. Let's get this back in the car, make the hose that goes to it, and we'll keep working. That's why you keep, like I keep a lot of my scraps just for this simple purpose. I mean, this ain't much. A lot of people would throw this out, but now I'm using it. It's been probably 3 years, but I'm using it now. Steam port connection is now done. I'm waiting on one fitting to loop my upper hose like a union. Not the way I really want to do it, but to save time and money right now, money is the biggest thing. I'm going to put the union in and pray if it works. If everything works, come winter time, I'll rip that whole upper hose out and get one that goes the whole length and deal with it then. But I'm waiting on that. Only thing I got to make now is the line from the bottom of the tank to the heater outlet. The problem I'm running in with that is it's kind of close once you get all the fittings on here. So the fittings I have a 45 straight, but I don't think they're going to work. One of them's not going to work. Alright, got the new expansion tank plumbed in, got all the new fittings hooked up. My buddy Dave up here right now, he knows a little bit. I did a video of his Mustang 9.0 in 100-degree weather. That car is now gone 8.2. But it's burping out, and we'll see if it works. I don't know. Alright, here we are a couple days later, still having fits and issues with the coolant system. What I did this time around was I gutted the thermostat. This is what I was told to do. Well, that's wrong. The problem with this is, you notice how on the thermostats it's got this back plate. What that back plate does is separates the water pump's high side from low side. So when you gut it like this, it's just circulating in the pump and it's not circulating anywhere else. Motor, radiator, nothing. So what I'm going to do is, people use freeze out plugs, knock it in there. I'm not going to do that because I don't have the right size. I got another, ran down an AutoZone, got another thermostat. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to drill a couple holes in here so the water can still pass through and still be blocked. I got the wrong one first, that one's going to get sent back. I got this one from Motorrad. We're gonna drill it and we're gonna see what happens. Alright. There's the drilled thermostat. Let's see what this does. This is my steam port fitting. It's probably freaking loud, huh? See all that air? I got the coolant problem all figured out. Let's go for a ride. About 186 degrees, give or take. These roads suck, dodging massive potholes right now. But we're out driving it. People behind me looking at me stupid when I was at the intersection. Whatever. Test drive was pretty successful. Tune is pretty much trash on this thing, and the air fuels all over the place. But you know what? Coolant system's back in check. Little air still left in the system because I noticed it started to get a little warm, but then, you know, when I came down to idle, it started to cool down, so it leads me to believe that there's some air in the system, which at this point I don't care. I will get that taken care of. I noticed another problem. I don't know if you can see the little wisps of smoke, but I have a small oil leak somewhere. Oh, it's right out of that fitting right there. Little oil leak out of there. So once this cools down, I'll take that apart. I don't know why that's still fitting. I might change the flange there. I've sealed that thing twice now, and it's leaked again. So that might get just changed entirely, so I don't have to deal with it. I tried to do a little burnout. I don't think it did a little burnout. I'm gonna go check on the street, but I don't think so. But we are one step closer now that the cooling system's all figured out. Now I won't hate this car so much anymore. I'm going to end this video now. This video is dragged on way too long, so that thermostat did work. Everybody questioning me? Yes, a stock water pump will work. No, you don't need an electric water pump. No, you don't need a Taurus Sable fan. You just need to do it right, like I didn't do, because honestly I didn't know. Guess what? You live and you learn. Stock water pump. 187 degree thermostat, 5 holes drilled in it, expansion tank plumbed correctly, dash 16 hoses to the back of the car to a Griffin 3-core radiator that I made into dual pass with a small fan on it. It's not that hot out today, it's like 75. I might put a bigger fan radiator in this thing over the winter, just because I have the room for it now that it's back there. Anyways, guys, get out in the garage, grab a cold one, work on your hot rod. It's a lot more fun to drive it than it is to work on it. Have a good night.